technology evolving, laws devolving, and dating. We're going to get into all of it. Let's get it. Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube memberships. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family, hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode is a Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Jay Andrea. We're going to be dilly-dadding a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about hate crimes. Then we're going to be talking about interesting situations in dating. Well, that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. Yo.
Yeah.
I sent you and our brother something in the group chat today that blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you was just like, oh, this is kind of dope. So the new AirPod Pro 3, is that what it's called?
Yes.
The new AirPod Pros 3 have live translation. With live translation powered by Apple Intelligence, you can listen to people speak in different languages and hear translations through your AirPods Pro 3. To respond, just speak naturally and your words will appear in the other person's language on your iPhone screen. To make the experience even more magical, if you both have iPad Pro 3, you can each speak in your own language and hear translations through your iPad or iPods.
Yeah.
AirPods. It's all of that. AirPods,
Yeah.
iPads, it's all of that. We don't need to learn how to speak languages anymore. Hell, I barely can speak English today, but we don't need to learn how to speak other languages anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our brother said that they were on some Star Trek stuff, and I'm like, yeah, this is essentially it. Because when you watch Star Trek, like you hear all the aliens speaking English, but they're not. They're speaking whatever language it is. They just have the little translators so everybody can understand each other. Like I think, I don't know, y'all. I actually have never watched Star Trek, but I feel like that's how it works. So initially it's going to have English, French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. And then Apple plans to expand by the end of 2025 to Italian, Japanese, Korean, and simplified Chinese. Now that's the one that should have been English, Spanish, and Chinese, simplified Chinese as the initial languages.
The Chinese speak Mandarin, right?
Mandarin or Cantonese.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mandarin is the main.
Yeah, they
it's the
speak
main.
like but I mean, China is an incredibly large country, so there's a bunch of different dialects and stuff. So simplified Chinese, I think, is like the characters are simpler. It's like speaking, I guess, standard American English as opposed to one of our many regional dialects. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like that's not like, is that not crazy? Like two people speaking a completely different language in real time can be conversing, just with their phone and a pair of AirPod Pro 3s.
Well, so this is the next evolution of a technology that has recently come out maybe a year ago. When I had to get a new cell phone begrudgingly about a year ago, they was like, hey man, you don't want to look at these Androids? I was like, no, I'm team Apple all the day. Like blue text. That's I discriminate. That's my color discrimination.
Yeah.
And so the person that was like, I don't know, man, they got Google Translate built into the phone. I was like, what you mean?
Yeah.
It's like you push this button, no matter where you are in the world, you can communicate. They can speak into it. It'll translate and go back and forth. I was like, wow, that's dope. Now, we have access to Google Translate on our iPhones because I recently had a cleaning lady who didn't speak a lick of English. and I only speak un poquito Spanish, right?
Right.
So we
Yeah.
could not even converse in just my little bit of Spanish. So I was like,
Yeah.
hold on, let me break out my phone. And so we were able to go back and forth to have a conversation. With
Yeah.
these
I use Google
earpieces,
Translate a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use Google Translate just so it can tell me how to properly enunciate American words.
Yeah.
It's really
It's also
like,
useful for that. Yeah.
yeah, because ordinances, which is coming up in the second segment, yeah, really tough word for me to say.
Just make sure you hit that D.
Ordinance, yeah, no, it's just a tough word for me.
Ordinance. Hit that D hard.
That didn't sound like that was right to me. But anyway, this is going to
That
be.
didn't sound right at all. I wish I had not said that on
Yeah,
air.
that didn't sound right. Oh, I was like, I don't think that's how you're supposed to say it.
No, I wish I hadn't said that specific sentence on air. But you know what? It's out there now, and that's podcasting, folks.
Yeah. Y'all, before we started this show, I normally nail that intro in one take. I've been one take Bruce for, I don't know, maybe like 100 shows straight.
Yeah.
I was telling Jay before we even got started, as I read through the rundown, I was like, oh, I'm going to have a tougher time than usual talking today. I don't know why. It's probably because I'm tired. But I'm going to have a tougher time than usual talking today, which is always a problem. And another reason why I never learned Mandarin, when you start throwing different characters for letters at me and my dyslexia that can barely see the letters that's just regular, like American not American letters, just the alphabet A through Z, right? And you start throwing different signs out there, you might as well forget it. I'm not catching it. So this is for us who were never able to learn another language. I took Spanish from 7th grade to sophomore year in college. We have Spanish-speaking people in our family.
Yeah.
I've dated Spanish-speaking women.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Miami too many times. I can't speak no Spanish. So this helps. This helps me because, you know.
Yeah. Mandarin's also difficult because it's a tonal language, which means the way you say a syllable can completely change the meaning. So you could say ma, 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 ma. Like it's like, and it can mean completely different words.
Oh, wow.
And so English is not a tonal language. So it's like Mandarin is for people who don't speak tonal languages is probably very difficult to learn. Yeah.
But
I ain't even gonna try.
This is another example of technology actually making us dumber.
No, I think this is an example of technology bringing us together and bridging gaps.
You know what else can bring us together and bridge gaps? If we learn multiple languages. We're really the only country that doesn't even attempt to learn multiple languages. Like
that is not true. You have foreign language as a requirement in school.
Yeah, but we don't really attempt it. You know how I know this? Because I got into a debate with a person yesterday. And they were like, yeah, you know, I don't understand how you've been here 15 years and still can't speak the language. I was like, one, American English is very complicated. They say it's one of the toughest languages to learn. It's like number one. And number two, I was like, we don't have an official language. I mean, but we do. I was like, but we do not have an official language.
Yeah, the United States of America is not declared an
They're trying to change
language.
that though.
They're trying to, just like they changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War, and they're trying to say it's the Gulf of America, not the Gulf of. It's dumb. It's dumb. Just stop it.
Don't worry, Gavin Newsom's going to change everything back.
I'm just not gonna put all my eggs in a Gavin Newsom basket. I mean, I like Gavin Newsom. I love the things that he's doing right now, but like, I'm just not. The fact of the matter is, I'm not going to get too political. I'm just going to say this one thing. The Democratic Party has done an incredibly poor job of mentoring the next generation. They've just done a poor job. They've decided to hold on to power, even though they're 150 years old, each of them, instead of reaching back and training up the next round of leaders. So,
but that's both parties. That's politics. Nobody prepares the next generation. Nobody prepares the next generation.
Republicans always have a next candidate on deck.
Do you remember when Trump was running the first time when they had 16, 17 people on stage?
Yeah, how many do we usually have?
I mean, this last time we had a lot
Like
too, but typically it's like
4?
no,
I don't know.
like maybe 3, 4, and then
That's
and we
They
always
have a
got people.
lot more candidate options. We don't. We got it's usually like every election cycle. I feel like we're choosing between like 2 and 3 people.
Yeah,
Like
that's how that works.
wow,
The next generation hardly ever prepare the previous generation hardly ever prepares the next generation for anything.
yeah, because Gen X, y'all ain't do diddly jack for us.
Where they're the ones preparing Gen Z because Gen Xers have Gen Z kids. Gen Xers don't
Yeah.
have millennial kids. If they do, good God.
I mean, I suppose it's possible.
I mean, it's absolutely possible. It's
Yeah.
absolutely possible. But I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I mean, technically, I'm a borderline Gen Xer millennial, and I could absolutely have a millennial kid because we have cousins that are like 15 years younger than I am. Some of them 20 who are millennials, and I'm like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, no, that's absolutely possible. So yeah,
Yeah.
that could work.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
you said that you didn't want to get political, but you did want to bring up one other political thing.
Yeah. So that you know how it's been out in the ether that Trump has sent a birthday letter to Epstein back in 03.
Birthday card, but yeah.
Birthday card, birthday letter, whatever it is. Well, it finally got released. Democrats released it, and it's weird. It's weird. So the card is like this imaginary exchange between Donald and Jeffrey, and then like around the letter, around the text, which is centered on the page, which is weird, is like the body of a woman, a armless woman with little boobs, and that's it. I don't know, but the text is, I'm gonna read it to y'all. It's suspect as hell. Like, okay. So it starts with voiceover, and the voiceover says, there must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do. Come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump.
Well, I wonder if he found out what enigma meant because he saw Batman Forever, because that seems like a big word for him.
It does seem like a big word for him.
The reason why I think this might be a little suspect, because him using that word, I don't know. That don't sound like him.
Yeah.
He can use big adjective. And at this time, well, it was 2003, so the internet was around, so he could
Definitely was
Google.
internet.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had a thesaurus with him too.
Could have. Or he could have heard it somewhere and decide to use it. I think it was still weird the way he used it. Enigmas never age. Like, what does that mean exactly?
But I
It's
mean,
very strange.
enigmas are mysteries, correct?
Yes, yes.
Mysteries do absolutely age.
Yeah. And then it's like,
It's weird.
It's
but
weird.
it's very, but you know, oh God, I'm not on here defending Trump. What I will say is this: guy language is weird in and of itself. That's what I'll say. When guys communicate to each other, when we're doing our bro stuff, it's weird. We're a weird gender.
But knowing Epstein's crimes, his horrible, horrific crimes, to say that enigmas or mysteries never age, knowing he was a ledophile, I'm trying to way to say that when you stay monetized, and then, oh yeah, that was clear to me the last time I saw you. I hope every day is another wonderful secret. What?
So here's the thing about these Epstein files, and we haven't talked about it much in the show because whatever. I feel like this is important for the victims, but I feel like there's more important things going on in the world, kind of like, I don't know, an attempt for a dictatorship. What
Yeah,
I
I mean, that's definitely happened.
what I will say is there are so many powerful people that are wrapped up with Jeffrey Epstein. This could break down everything. And people are like, well, show us the list. And I do believe the list needs to happen, but I think some people are on one side thinking that the list is going to show a bunch of people, and it probably will. And I know
Yeah.
some people on the other side are thinking that it's going to show people from the other side on the list, and it probably will. I think
Yeah.
people are going to realize as like, oh, some of these people that we put in power, not very good people.
No.
So just as I think, Trump was at that island, I also believe that you can also convince me that Slick Willie was also on that island.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think if
Slick
there
Willie is
is
Bill Clinton, y'all.
we all got it.
No, I don't know if people know who Slick Willie is. People might not know that know that term.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a list, I don't know that he actually kept a list
Yeah, that don't make
of
no
people.
sense.
Like,
Yeah.
if there, I don't see why he would. But if there is this list, and the Trump administration is not gonna release it because it's probably got him and a lot of people he knows on it, so he's not gonna release it. Like,
Yeah.
and the weird backpedaling and let's just stop talking about this. That that is kind of like, that's your signal that whatever information they do have is not great.
When people try to change the subject, when
Yeah.
y'all talk about something, they try to change the subject. Nah, they got some heat underneath them feet.
Yep.
They got some heat underneath them feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, technology is crazy, like I
Yeah.
said earlier, but some of our laws are devolving instead of evolving, and we're going to get into that next. Jay, something interesting happened the other day, and no, I'm not talking about the murder on the train, even though that is a sad situation, and I pray for that young woman's family. This is about another racial crime. And I don't even think that was racial. It was just happened to be a interracial violence. But I'm talking about something else that's interracial violence. And it's from the AP. It's a story written by Jeffrey Collins. And the title of the story is Black Man Shot at While Waiting to Go to Work, Says South Carolina Needs Hate Crime Law. So for y'all that did not know, South Carolina is one of 2 states that doesn't have a hate crime law. But a black man named Jarvis McKenzie was shot at by a white man while he was waiting to go to work in South Carolina, leading to renewed calls for statewide hate crime legislation. McKenzie survived the attack, and local ordinances, that word, limited in their penalties, are currently the only tools for hate crime charges in South Carolina, which remains one of only 2 states without a statewide hate crime law. So I was talking to a person about this yesterday because they were talking about the stabbing and the killing on that train. And I brought up this story. And I was like, yeah, South Carolina, because they were bringing up how the prosecution wasn't giving the family information. And I was like, yeah, South Carolina on some other shit, because they don't even have a statewide hate crime statute.
Yeah.
Then they
now,
tried to.
The other state, Wyoming, I kind of.
I was going to get to that later.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
I was going to get to that later. But so I was telling a woman the story, and she was like, I don't even understand why we have hate crime laws. And I was like, excuse me? She was like, yeah.
You already lost me.
Right. But her rationale was even dumber.
Okay.
It was, if you commit a crime against me, isn't it already hate? I was like, no.
Sometimes you just owe me money.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm like, no, a hate crime has to do. I was like, you don't understand what a hate crime is. So for everybody out there who's probably want to say the same thing that she did, because people don't ever want to say, well, they got killed because of their race or their gender. It had nothing to do with that. No, it had absolutely everything to do with that. So a hate crime is a criminal offense such as assault, vandalism, or murder that is motivated by bias against certain characteristics of the victim, including their race, ethnicity, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. So it's not solely, people say hate crime, it's always black and white. What about when black people kill white people? First of all, I'm gonna get into crime statistics later, but did that black person kill the white person because they were white? Or did they kill them because they owed them some money? There's a difference there,
There's a lot of reasons.
And that can be a hate crime as well under hate crime laws, if that were the case. So it's not purely about racial. It's about gender and sexuality. Well, I don't even agree with this sexuality and the gender. What about disabilities? What about if somebody was out here killing folks because they was in wheelchairs? You wouldn't consider that a hate crime? Oh, well, I mean, yeah, okay. So you just want to pick and choose what you decide to
do. Which communities you think deserve victimhood.
Right.
And that is something you're going to have to interrogate within yourself. Like that, I can't help you with that. If that's why we say Black Lives Matter, y'all. That's why we say it. Because you all pick and choose which communities you think deserve to be victims. And if it's a community you don't think deserves to be victims, y'all come up with every excuse in the book as to why the harm or even the murder of someone is potentially justified just because of the community that person belongs to. The reason why hate crimes are more harmful than that same crime without
than a non-hate crime.
Right. Is because not only do they target the victim, but they also target the community that victim represents. So not only are you harming that victim, you're threatening an entire community. And that's putting a bunch of people now on the defense, right? It's impacting the safety of an entire community. So there is a significant reason why hate crime legislation is important. Yeah.
So in this particular case with Jarvis McKenzie, I'm going to paraphrase the story. So he was waiting outside in the same spot that he's been waiting to get picked up to go to work for decades, right? White man pulls up in a pickup truck, pulls his rifle out, takes a shot that goes above Mr. McKinney's head, and says to him, "You better get running, boy." Basically, like, why are you in this neighborhood?
Right.
Security footage captured the event, and the perpetrator was charged under county level hate crime laws. However, they only carry misdemeanor penalties of up to a month in jail.
Right.
This is the reason why we have hate crimes in 48 other states, because when somebody takes a shot at another person based off of their race, ethnicity, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability, that crime should be escalated and the penalties should be escalated because it's attacking an entire community. So there is a push in the state to make a statewide hate crime law in South Carolina. Like I said, certain jurisdictions have ordinances. Look, I just
that
can't
was
say that
actually the best pronunciation that you've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, but we're grading on a severe curve, but we're getting there. And and Mr. McKenzie has become an activist and trying to push for a statewide hate crime law. About 20 local governments have passed their own ordinances. But these are only misdemeanors and only carry minimum sentences. This is the
Yeah.
same state that Dylan Roof went into that church
I was
and
just about to
massacred
miss.
and,
Yes.
and massacred the people. That's
In
all the more
Charleston.
reason that you need to have hate crimes. There was a reason why there was a Stop Asian Hate. There were some violence that was being done towards the Asian community throughout the nation. Those are hate crimes. If you
Yes.
attack somebody because of their sexual orientation, gender, you might not like it, doesn't give a damn. You can't attack them for it. And if you do, that's a hate crime. So,
Yeah.
yes. So I thought this was an interesting story. And I want to get some more of your thoughts on it because I'm going to paint a picture of why there's been an escalation of hate crimes over the last, let's say, 8 years. But just your thoughts on just a man just waiting to go to work,
Yeah.
a taxpayer, minding his own damn business. Dude roll up in a pickup truck, point his rifle outside the window, shoots at him and says, "Get out of here, boy."
Yeah, this is not an uncommon occurrence. We just don't always call the police.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, this is not an uncommon occurrence. And since the Black Lives Matter movement has brought a lot of these cases to the fore, what we just know to be true is that existence in a Black body anywhere is unsafe. Not at the grocery store, not at church, not anywhere. You can't stand on the side of the road waiting to go to work. You can't be anywhere and be safe in a Black body. Now, what we are seeing with these blatantly racist immigration laws and is that you can't be in a brown body and exist anywhere. Not even at the courthouse for your immigration hearing. It can't exist anywhere. And so the critics who argue, according to Associated Press, that a bill imposing harsher penalties for hate crimes is divisive or duplicative, and they say that like existing laws are sufficient if judges impose maximum sentences when hate is a factor. These are not people who are taking in the totality of really what's involved when someone harms another person due to bias, right? Like it's like I said earlier, it's not just a victim who suffers, it's the entire community that they belong to. And Mr. McKenzie still lives in fear, right? Because there is no meaningful reform that can give him any kind of sense of safety. And he's not the only one. We just have his name. He's not the only one. South Carolina Governor Harry McMaster, who's also a former prosecutor, maintains that current statutes allow for harsh punishment and fears a hate crime law would involve policing thought rather than conduct. Listen to me. Listen to me right now. We are policing the conduct and the impact, the emotional, societal, cultural, the community impact. I don't care about anybody. Listen, most people's thoughts are biased.
Yeah.
I would say 100% of people's thoughts are biased.
Yeah.
But when you start to act on that bias, yeah, we're gonna police the conduct and the impact.
Yeah.
It's like dropping a pebble into a still pond. It ripples out. And they need to suffer the consequences of the fact that it rippled out.
You ain't lying.
Honestly, when we come up against things like this, like enacting harsher penalties for hate crimes or passing a bill to ensure the kids get lunch in school, like these kind of things that were like, okay, if you're a human being, this feels like common sense, right? Because honestly, who is being harmed with harsher penalties for hate crimes? The perpetrator?
Yeah, that's who would be harmed. Yeah, perpetrator.
Where is the downside to that? What do you mean a bill like this is divisive? In what way? Dylan Roof walked into that church in Charleston, sat there for an hour and prayed with those people and then killed them. And left one alive to tell a story. And they took him to freaking Burger King before taking him to the damn police station for questioning. And you telling me we want to protect the rights of a person like Dylan Roof?
Yeah, yes.
We don't want to.
We always have to protect people's rights.
No. I mean, we don't want to subject him to the punishment commiserate with the crime.
Okay, yeah, that's a better way to say it. You said not protect their rights. We do want to protect their rights.
I mean, I don't really give a damn about his rights, but that's another story. But like,
yeah, well, I mean, we got to.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Due process.
Yeah.
We all are allowed to get it, but we ain't all entitled to Burger King.
Well, if you're gonna tell on yourself, that's like par for the course. You didn't see in many shows in the first 48. They feed you.
They give you some Shasta and some Lay's potato chips these days. They don't come in there
really that's
with
all
no
they get?
2-piece and a biscuit. I've seen plenty of first 48 episodes, and you get what's in the vending machine. Okay, that's it. You don't get no whole nah.
You brought up something, and I think and pretty much centered on humanity, right? Like, why are these things where we're talking about feeding kids and passing hate crime laws? Like, why is this difficult? Because humanity says that that these should be easy issues. You know what also says that? Because everybody loves to say that this nation is built on Christian principles, right? Or this is a Christian nation. And if you were to believe that, and you were to believe in Jesus's teachings, then
we would be a socialist nation.
Yeah, clothing and feeding the poor would be kind of a human thing.
Yeah.
But have you heard of Pastor Joe? Now, I gave him this nickname, but his name is Pastor Joel Wilbon. Webbin. Have you heard about him?
No.
Okay, so recently he stated that white Christian parents have a parental duty to explicitly teach their children to be cautious around Black people, claiming this is necessary for their safety and asserting that failing to do so is neglectful parenting. He described having the talk as an obligation, telling parents they must sometimes explain that certain areas in town are off limits and certain individuals should stay clear of. He differentiated between individual Black church members and strangers, asserting that groups of Black strangers pose a greater threat than groups of white strangers, and argued that it is unwise to raise children believing all races are identical in risk or character. Now, what he said was, because I saw the clip, what he said was exactly that. How he phrased it was, how he phrased it was this. He said, look, we got Black members in our church. They're okay. We see them all the time. We know them. When you go out in the street and you're around a group of strangers, you need to be a little wary. I was like, okay, I actually, that statement, singular, that statement, yeah, when you outside, be a little wary of anybody. Then
that's not what he said.
Hold on. He even said white people. He said, be a little wary of white people. But who you really have to be leery of are Black people, because you're 30 times more likely to be hurt by them than you are anybody else. That's just fact. And as I was watching that clip, I said, well, that's not fact.
No.
This is a number. They are constantly trying to say Black people commit more crimes than white people.
Yeah.
And this is just not true. Here's some crime stats for you folks out there. Of violent incidences involving white victims, most involve white offenders.
Yeah.
followed by Black offenders and Hispanic offenders. But I'm about to give you the numbers. Violent incidences where it is white victims, white offenders in these situations, 15.8 million incidences. For Black offenders, 2.38 million incidences. And for Hispanic offenders, 1.5 million incidences. So what they're trying to tell you is, I don't even know the math on this, but 15.8 compared to 2.38 million, vastly different.
Yeah.
That's like, that's
And
7 times more. You're 7 times more likely.
He said in his statement on his podcast that, and this, I would love to know where the hell he got this stat. He pulled it out of his ass. That a crowd of Black strangers are, quote, 30 times.
Yeah, 30 times. That's what he said.
More dangerous than a crowd of white people.
That's
where
like
you get that from?
He came up with that. He came up with
it.
Let me hit y'all with a little something else. Because we were just talking about hate crimes, and hate crimes are absolutely a real thing. Okay.
Yes.
Let's not get it twisted. Hate crimes are absolutely a real thing. But interracial homicide, that's Black on white and even white on Black, it's far less common than intraracial homicide, meaning white on white and Black on Black. So for all you people who are not good at math out there, white victims, the overwhelming majority of the time, white people are the offenders, not Black people or Latino people. Definitely a very, very small number of illegal immigrants, though those are the stories that they want to put in the news to make it seem like it's a big thing. Not a big thing, okay? Yeah. So for all my white people out there that are listening, and if you watch the show regularly, we already know that you're part of the team. We already know. But if you had some friends out there, and I know you do, that are always saying, I'm more scared of Black people than I am anybody, you need to be more scared of your own people, because they're the ones that are hurting you. They're the ones that are attacking you. They're the ones that are assaulting you. They're the ones that are killing you. It's them. Overwhelmingly so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just bothered me. And then when you said humanity, I'm like, this is a pastor. This is a pastor of a church.
This literally is a person who calls himself a pastor.
Well, yeah, well, true. Literally preaching hate.
Yeah.
You don't need to be scared of Black people. Let me tell you why you don't need to be scared of Black people. If all you do is don't act scared around Black people, you'll be just fine. It's when you act scary around us, we're gonna give you something to act scared around. We're gonna give you a reason to fear if you're gonna act scared around us. But
no, we don't.
Huh?
No, we don't. We be laughing at y'all.
Sometimes. But me in person, if you clench your purse, if you get on the elevator with me, I live in the building, you clench your purse when you get in the elevator, I'm going to do a quick jab set like, what am I about to do? Steal your money? I got more money than you. I know for a fact because I can tell that purse is a Michael Kors purse.
That might be your response. I'd be laughing. I laugh at it. It's like, okay. Yeah, whatever. But this is another quote here. Ben, I just want y'all to really understand what this man literally said out of his mouth. He said, quote, and it is actually a failure of your parental duty, white parents. Please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lied to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same, they are not. You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life. And that factual and truthful information, he means that Black strangers are 30 times more dangerous, which is, again, not a fact. It is something he pulled out of his ass. So,
but if he had said, using that same sentiment, if you raise your children and saying that we are not equal, because historically, Black people and brown people have been historically discriminated against.
Right.
Then I'd be like, you know what? That's good. That's a good lesson to try and teach your kids. Historically, they have not been treated equally. But that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is you are 30 times more likely with some Black strangers. And This is a crazy thing. I literally was having this conversation with somebody earlier. Black people are so damn welcoming that all
Yes.
you got to do is not act scared around us. And we are so welcoming. We'll be like, we invite too many damn people to the barbecue, to the cookout.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all you got to do is act like you ain't afraid of us. That's how traumatized we are in this country, where we
Yeah.
will accept anybody else who is just simply not afraid of us.
Yeah. Even the people who are afraid, right? I don't know what kind of face Dylan Roof had when he walked into that church in Charleston, but what did them people do? They
Opened up.
embraced him,
Mhm.
they welcomed him in, and they prayed with him. Because that's ultimately who we are and what we do. But this is the same man, by the way, who wants to repeal the 19th Amendment. He stated on his podcast that he believed part of his vote was stolen from him as a result of the 19th Amendment, which cements women's right to vote.
Oh yeah, that's been like a big push recently. They trying to pull women back. Some women are even down for it. Yeah, I don't think I should have the right to vote. Some women I've seen in these interviews, like, well, you don't think you should get the right to vote? Nah, I'm not smart enough. Woo.
Yeah, well, their whole position is that families as a unit should vote, with the man leading the decision making and voting process, right? Like it just like our households should vote. No.
Yeah, nah. I got some real cool homegirls that tell me stories when they go back home and how their family, they're white. Some of my homegirls specifically I'm talking about, they're white, and they go back home and their home, their family is all MAGA, and they are the complete opposite of that. I'm like, how do you even deal with that? And they're like, don't go home that much. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's tough.
Yeah.
Me personally, I just say, okay, well, I'm not gonna rock with you no more. But I guess, maybe if your mom, your dad, you might have a little trouble. Not me, but luckily my parents ain't like that.
Right.
But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to just point out, we bring truth to power, power to truth, to bring it back to the first episode.
Yes.
Stop this damn myth that Black people are going to harm you. Not going to harm you. Not because you're white.
We literally are cool just being left alone, to be honest with you. And it feels like every time, no, it doesn't feel like, every time we set up our own thriving communities, y'all be like, F your couch, and y'all come in and you destroy them. And but you want us segregated, but you don't want us being equal or having equity.
No, they want us segregated and not successful.
Yes.
That's what it is. And not everybody, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I feel like I have to stress this all the time. I'm not talking about all white people. We're speaking in generalities here. And we're speaking a lot to the systems and the structures, not solely to individual people, but I am speaking about this Pastor Joe. Because and he's a person that prays the Lord, but don't get me started on Americanized Christianity that's based solely in racism.
Yeah.
I'm not
sexism and homophobia and transphobia.
Yeah, all that stuff. All right. Jay, do you have any more to talk about on this one? Because I'm off this now. This is depressing.
Yeah, when you're fighting legislation that really only harms perpetrators of crimes, and not really harms them, but just holds them accountable, ask yourself why. Why are you so concerned about the penalty for a perpetrator of a crime? Why are you so damn concerned about the penalty for a perpetrator of a crime? It's because you don't want them to suffer harsher penalties for hurting disadvantaged communities, because at the end of the day, you don't care about vulnerable communities. Just say that. You're already kind of saying the quiet part out loud, but just say that.
Message. Jay, can guys actually be honest in dating?
I wish you would.
So I came across this post on Instagram, and it created a very interesting topic that people were talking about in the comments. And I was like, oh, this would be interesting to talk about on the show, because I just think that it's an interesting question. Like, how honest can a man truly be? So a guy sent a woman that he was dating or hanging
Mhm.
out with. It didn't say what level of dating that they were on.
Okay.
This is what he sent to her. He sent her a text message. Hey, I want to take you out, but I'm effed up right now. I can afford wine and takeout if you want to vibe on the balcony tonight. And my question is, was his honesty the best policy? And should men communicate with, let's just keep this heterosexual relationships.
Mhm.
Should men communicate when they low on funds with women?
Yes. Please let us know so that we don't go out somewhere and get embarrassed.
What you mean get embarrassed? What you mean?
Because look, y'all go out there and then we order stuff that you can't afford, but we don't know that. Then the check come, the card get declined. Now I got to go in my. It's all embarrassing for like it makes it embarrassing for both of us.
Yeah.
Just let me know. We could do something else. We could do something else till you get back where I could do something for you. Like it's cool. Like, look, you want to spend time with me, but you can't afford to do it right now. Okay. How about you come here, I cook, and we watch a movie or something. Like, it's not like you just give me the option to come up with other, we could do other stuff.
So I went into the comments because the person that posted this was like, hey ladies, what do you think? And so I was reading the comments of the ladies, and it was refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
But also some women brought up something that I didn't even think about. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time they were like, love the honesty, baby, you ain't got to order takeout. I'll cook something. Vibing on the balcony seems like the best thing ever. And
Yes.
I have a balcony, and my balcony overlooks the courtyard. I've had
Mm-hmm.
many a dates where we're
Mm-hmm.
eating food, listening to music, especially at night, because the light reflecting off the pool, and I got lights on my balcony. It's a total vibe out there. It's a
Yes.
vibe. My house is a
Yes.
complete vibe, but it's a total vibe out there. So
Yes.
women are like, yo, I'm feeling this more so than going out.
Yeah.
What a lot of women brought up was, is this the first date? Because no, if that's the first date, and I
Yeah.
understand that, because you don't go over to a man, ladies.
Until you don't go over somebody's house on that first
I
date.
don't care how long y'all been talking.
Yeah.
First date, don't go to that house. Don't
And
go to his
it's
house. And
got to
don't have
be
him
a
in your house.
very long time before they know where you live.
You know, it's funny. The last girlfriend I had, she was like, you never made the moves on me. I was like, woman, you never gave me the opportunity, because the very first date that we had, I went to her part of town,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't have me pick her up at her house. I took an Uber. She didn't have me pick her up at her house. She had me pick her up at a bus stop close to her house. I was like, safety. Cool. I dig that.
Yeah.
We go to a restaurant, we eat. I'm like, here, I order an Uber back, and I have it drop you off at your house, and I'll go home. She's like, I was like, what you think? I'm gonna stalk you? It's like, you fine, but it's not that serious. I just want to make sure you get home safely. You can order your own Uber, but like, I'm going to be passing by that area anyway. So, and so even then, she put the address, it wasn't the right address. The second date, I walked her home, but I didn't get to go inside. The third date, I think I was inside. It may have been a fourth date where I was actually inside, and it wasn't until the fifth date that she actually came to my house. So I was like, yo, this is like, I'm cool with that, because safety is a major issue. So some of the women brought up, if it's first date, that's a no-go. One woman brought up something in response to, if it's a first date, that I was like, that's also a good point, where she was like, if you can't afford the first date, why are you dating right now? And I think that's a good point. If you ain't got it right now, get straight before you have to go out there and date. Don't try to be dating broke.
I really don't feel like that should necessarily be a barrier, right? Because
Money?
the first date, okay, so say it's our first date. He sends me this text. I want to take you out, but I ain't got it right now. I can afford wine and takeout if you want to vibe on my balcony tonight. My response, if this is somebody that I do want to get to know, would be, that sounds great. How about we just move it to a picnic in a local park? You
Yeah.
know, because we're
Yeah.
just getting to know each other. And that, like, you bring the wine, I'll bring the takeout. We'll meet up and we'll kick it like that. We could do that. Like it. I think you shouldn't offer a first date to someone you can't afford. If
That's what
you
she was essentially saying.
right,
Like,
right,
yeah.
like so, yeah. I mean, I always think you should probably try dating your tax bracket, but like.
I don't never. I'll be out there trying to date them women that got that money.
You know,
I mean,
I mean,
that's me personally.
but if there is like a income difference, like a substantial income difference, you got to get creative, my boy. And it doesn't mean that you can't lock down somebody in a different tax bracket. You just got to get creative. And I feel like he was there. He was almost there. Had this been a first date, he was almost there. He should have suggested a public place like a park and something like that. But like, he was almost there. Like I still probably would have rocked with that because you can have a good conversation at a picnic. Oh, you got this conversation and people watch it.
Right. Look, let me tell you something. Let me give you guys some free game.
Oh
Because
boy.
I'm a reformed player.
Oh boy.
Reformed player. Okay. I'll give you guys some free game. That first date, don't do no movie, don't do no dinner. You don't even technically have to do drinks. What I used to do when I used to go out on a bunch of first dates, I used to date like from 2015 to about 2009. I was on a lot of dates. And
That
in
many
this area, huh? Say what?
2015 to 2009?
2019. I meant to say 19.
19.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
getting
Okay.
older. I'm getting older.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're middle aged.
And in DC, mad expensive to go out even just to have a couple drinks. Okay.
Yes.
There's this spot that everybody in this area knows about. It's actually a borderline between DC and Virginia. There's this park, and it's right outside of National Airport, right? But it's also along the water. And everybody goes there all the time to watch the planes take off. Kids are out there with the kites and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I used to go get wine, crackers, and like it would be like a little tray of stuff that you could
charcuterie board.
Yes, but it was a poorer version of a charcuterie board, but it was like some meat, some cheeses, and some crackers. And some
That's
wine.
all a charcuterie board is. That's
okay.
it. Yeah.
And I use it. That was my first date for everything. I would get 2 bottles of wine, one red, one white. I would have the glasses, the cover, use your phone for music, and you just vibe and talk. I did that so many times and it always worked. And if you want to get them back to your house, all you have to do is make them feel comfortable. Like that's not the point to get back to the house, because the park and the public places are going to eventually close or it's going to get dark. And then you say, hey, you want to go back to my place and watch a movie? And if they're comfortable, then they'll come. And if they're not comfortable, they probably don't really even like you that much. So you just need to move on.
Incorrect.
I know that's incorrect. But this is free game. This is free game from all them young players out there that's like, man, these women are expensive. They don't have to be expensive. And if they want the full 9 on the first date, odds are that probably ain't the one for you anyway. Like,
I mean, if you can't afford it,
not even if you can't afford it, if they asking for all of that on the first date, no, you should be wanting to get to meet me.
A content creator, I saw them on Instagram. He had a great analogy for this. You cannot walk in to the Porsche dealership with 15 grand in your pocket.
I mean, that's true.
That's just.
I mean, you 15 grand in your pocket. Yes, you definitely can. 15 grand in your bank account. No, you cannot.
15 to spend.
Okay. Well, you put down payment on that and get to going.
No. You can't go in. You can't be swinging out your league. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
It is what it is. And people are allowed to be accustomed to a certain kind of lifestyle or a certain
Mm-hmm.
kind of treatment or like, and if that's not what you can afford, you don't get it. You don't get it. If you can't afford the BMW, you can't get it.
That's a good analogy, yeah, because a lot of dudes out here be like, man, these women always want this and that. Yeah, I mean, if they're accustomed to that, I mean, why should they settle
Yeah.
for anything less? Because you wouldn't settle for anything less,
And the purchase is the first date, but you still got maintenance.
right?
You still got to
Um,
put gas in it, get the oil change. You
yeah, we
still got
talking.
money.
Okay, yeah,
Money got to come out.
we talking about cars because I'm not paying for no maintenance for no woman. She can maintain herself.
Okay, then that's not a. You ain't gonna be in them luxury
Yeah, I'm not.
dealerships.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not paying for hairs done, nails. Not dating. If you my girl, special occasion. Yeah, but that stuff gets expensive. Sometimes nails be costing $200, and you know what?
Yeah,
That's full. That's full Xbox or PS5 games. That's four
yeah,
of them. You
yeah. I
know
mean,
what I'm
it's just
saying?
where are your priorities? Like where they at? Like that. If your priorities on getting them PS games and not paying for nails, don't date the woman who expects to get her nails paid for.
Yeah, no, I
Like
wouldn't.
that's the answer. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
hard.
yeah,
It's
no, it's
not
not
hard,
hard.
but people make that mistake every damn day.
But I wanted to talk about this because the manosphere is always blaming women, and here is a
Mhm.
prime example. There were thousands. Yeah, I think it was thousands of comments of women saying that was so dope that he was open and honest. Yeah,
Yeah,
baby, we could do whatever. No, you don't got to order takeout. I'll cook. Vibing
yeah,
on the balcony sounds so dope. So for the men out there, if you are effed up financially and you don't have that don't have to be your woman, but you're all dating.
yeah,
It's okay to be honest and be real. Like, look, I ain't got it like that. Then stretch yourself. Because
yeah.
when you stretch
Because
yourself, you just gonna be mad that you done stretched yourself for her. And really, you should be mad at yourself for not just being honest. Don't be
right,
embarrassed. Everybody get a little effed up sometimes.
yeah.
Everybody.
And
I
if
didn't
her
know
response is messed up, then that ain't. Then now you know. Now
yeah,
you know if you get on hard times, this is not a person that's gonna hold you down.
right.
Now you know. Move on.
Yeah.
So it's always best to just tell the truth because then you get at least you get the answer. You get the
Because
answer one way or another. Either it's a person who is like, I'm not worried about that. We could do something. We could go to damn. I got a membership to the museum. We can head over there. They got a new exhibit open. Like that's free. Like if you don't have some, if her response, oh, you ain't got it, then you already know. You know what it is.
and the worst thing you guys can do outside of line is not say anything and not attempt to do anything because you effed up. You like, I ain't got no money, so we can't go nowhere, do nothing. Nah, man, there's a bunch of free things out there or
It was
low
so
cost
much
things
stuff.
that you can do,
Yeah,
man. Look, Aldi wine is good wine.
good wine.
$3. Trader Joe's, $3. You
Yeah,
$3 get you 2 bottles of wine, $6 get you some crackers, some cheese, some meats. You only spend about $10 to find you a little park. You got music on your iPhone. Vibe. Look,
yeah. Look,
$10.
most women out here, we drinking barefoot, baby. We not out here drinking $200, $300 bottles of wine. Okay? You ain't got
I
to
ain't never
do
had no $200 bottle of wine.
in my life.
If I had, I wouldn't have drank it because I'd been like, that's $200. We ain't drinking
That's
that.
$200. I be trying to figure out how much it is per sip. Like, nah, man. Like, that's
So, fellas,
yeah,
be honest. It
yeah,
won't hurt. It can only help. Stop avoiding the truth just because you can't
yeah.
handle the truth. If she ain't feeling it, then that ain't the one for you.
The
Okay.
end.
The people in your life for a reason and a season.
That's what I say.
I know. I stole that line from you. Jay, Jay, I did. I stole that line. I stole that
Good.
line from you. And two things can be true at the same time. I stole that from one of my homeboys. Like I
Mm-hmm.
steal those two lines because those are two
Yeah.
good lines. Jay,
Yes.
what do you want to tell these people out here?
Man, human decency. I wish they sold it in stores
Mm.
because some of y'all are missing it. and you don't even know why. You just really dislike vulnerable communities so much that common sense things you're not willing to invest in. It's the strangest thing of all time. But if anybody knows how to bottle decency, please do so immediately, because we are sorely lacking in it.
Let me tell you, that store will go out of business yesterday because people just don't have it. But I have hope. Just like
I don't
Superman.
know why.
Because I'm an optimist, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we two sides of the spectrum.
I guess so.
Pessimist.
I'm a realist. That's what I am. Not an optimist. I'm a realist. But I do believe that people can be better. And I believe that one day we will, hopefully. Or the aliens take us over, whichever one comes first. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Woo! That was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspectives.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.